If you're thinking about moving to Arizona in 2026, I'm about to say something that will either save you a lot of money or make you want to move here immediately. Because East Mesa might quietly be one of the best places to live in the entire state of Arizona. But on the flip side, it could also be the place that people move to and later realize it wasn't quite what they expected. And here's the part most relocation videos won't tell you. Whether East Mesa is perfect for you comes down to a few very specific factors that most people completely overlook. So in the next few minutes, we're going to break down the real expectations versus reality of living in East Mesa, Arizona. And just so we're clear, this is not the tourist brochure version. This is the actual lived-in version of what it's like living in East Mesa, especially in zip codes like 85215, 85213, 85207, and 85205. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which category you fall into. The people who absolutely love living here, or the people who realize it's not quite their lifestyle. And stay with me until the end, because I'm going to share the exact type of person East Mesa is perfect for, and the type of person who will probably regret moving here. Here's the biggest mistake people make when they're moving to Arizona. They ask a question like, what's the best city to live in? As if there's one universal answer. But the truth is, there really isn't, because best depends entirely on your lifestyle. For some people, the best city means walkability and nightlife. For others, it means space, quiet, views, and a home that actually feels like a retreat. And that's exactly the lane that East Mesa competes in. But to figure out if it fits you, we're going to use a simple 5-factor scorecard. If East Mesa wins your scorecard, it's a yes. If it loses, it's probably not the right move. Here are the 5 categories we're testing. Number 1, money and housing. What does it actually cost to live here? Number 2, commute and location. How easy is it to get around the valley? Number 3, safety and peace of mind. Number 4, lifestyle, community, and daily living. And number 5, future growth, because some cities are already finished. And some cities are actively becoming something bigger. And East Mesa happens to fall into that second category. So let's start with the factor that usually determines everything: money and housing. And this is where East Mesa gets very interesting, because if you're relocating from places like California, the first thing you usually notice is this: you get a lot more house here for the money. And I'm not just talking about square footage. I'm talking about something that is becoming increasingly rare in a lot of major cities: space, larger lots, custom homes, views, quiet neighborhoods, and homes that don't feel stacked on top of each other. And in many parts of East Mesa, especially around areas like the Groves, near crossroads like Greenfield and McKellips, Brown and Greenfield, McClellan Road, you'll find established neighborhoods with larger lots and custom homes that simply don't exist in many newer master planned communities. Now here's an important reality check. East Mesa has a pretty wide range of home prices depending on the neighborhood. You can find homes in the 500,000s, but when you start getting into luxury pockets like areas near Red Mountain, Los Andes, the Groves, it's very common to see homes moving into the 800,000, $1 million plus range, even well beyond that depending on the property. And here's the key point: you're not just paying for the house, you're paying for the setting, because many of these homes sit in areas where you have mountain views, quiet streets, established landscaping, and neighborhoods that feel much more private. And this is one of those moments where people moving from out of state usually say the same thing: wait, homes like this exist in Arizona? And the answer is yes, but there's a trade-off, because these neighborhoods aren't always located in the center of the metro. Which brings us to the next factor. This is where expectations and reality can start to separate a little bit. Because East Mesa sits on the eastern edge of the Phoenix metro area, which means a few things. First, You're close to incredible outdoor areas like the Superstition Mountains, Usuri Mountain Regional Park, and Saguaro Lake. But second, depending on where you work, your commute may be longer than expected. Now, the good news is East Mesa actually has very solid freeway access. The Loop 202 Red Mountain Freeway connects you quickly into Scottsdale, Tempe, Phoenix, and if you're heading towards Sky Harbor or Central Phoenix, many people can get there in roughly 20 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic. But here's something I always tell relocation clients before they buy a home anywhere in the valley. Test your commute. And I mean actually drive it. Do it on a weekday morning. Do it during rush hour. Because sometimes a location that looks perfect on a map feels very different when you experience the daily drive. Now here's the part where East Mesa really shines. And it's something that's becoming more and more common over the last few years. Remote work. If you're working from home or you only commute a few days per week, then East Mesa can feel like an absolute upgrade. Because instead of living closer to the city with smaller homes and tighter neighborhoods, you get space, views, and a quieter lifestyle, which brings us to something that a lot of people prioritize when choosing where to live: safety and peace of mind. One of the biggest reasons families and relocation buyers choose East Mesa is simply how the area feels. It's clean, it's quiet, and a lot of the neighborhoods have a very established residential feel that people love. You'll notice a lot of well-maintained homes, tree-lined streets in certain areas, and neighborhoods where people have lived for years and really take pride in their homes. And compared to some of the more urban parts of the Phoenix metro, East Mesa tends to feel much more relaxed. Now, does that mean every neighborhood is exactly the same? Of course not. Mesa is a large city with many different areas, but the eastern side, especially the zip codes we mentioned earlier, tends to attract people who are looking for a quieter environment, a slower pace, and a little more breathing room, and that leads directly into what daily life actually feels like living here. This is where East Mesa really begins to separate itself from other areas in the valley, because the lifestyle here revolves around something very specific: the outdoors. You have quick access to places like the Usuri Mountain Regional Park, Saguaro Lake, Salt River recreation areas, and some of the best hiking and mountain biking in the Phoenix metro. And when you live on this side of the valley, it becomes part of your routine. Weekend hikes, sunset drives, boating days at the lake. Now here's something that's important to understand. East Mesa is not a nightlife destination. You're not moving here for bars and restaurants. You're moving here for space, nature, quiet neighborhoods, and a more relaxed lifestyle. And for a lot of people relocating from places like California, that's actually the goal. Now let's talk about the future. Because the Phoenix metro area has been one of the fastest growing regions in the country. And Mesa itself has seen tremendous growth over the last decade. But here's what makes East Mesa interesting. It's already fairly established in many areas, which means you're not necessarily buying into a brand new construction zone everywhere you look. Instead, many neighborhoods already have mature landscaping, finished communities, established streets, which something many buyers prefer more than new developments. And because of its location, access to outdoor recreation, and larger homes and lots, East Mesa continues to attract buyers looking for long-term lifestyle value. So let's answer the question. Is Mesa one of the best cities to live in Arizona? And the real answer is, it depends on who you are. East Mesa is absolutely perfect for someone who wants more space, larger homes, a quieter lifestyle, access to the outdoors, and a place where their home feels like a retreat. But East Mesa might not be the right fit if you want urban walkability, nightlife, or a short 10-minute commute into downtown Phoenix. Because that's simply not what this area is built around. But if you're the type of person who values views, space, peace and quiet, and a little more breathing room in your daily life, then East Mesa might just be one of the best places in Arizona for you. And if you're thinking about moving to Arizona, especially the East Valley, That's exactly what my team and I help people do every single week, whether you're relocating from California, the Midwest, or anywhere else. We help people find the right area, the right neighborhood, and the right home for their lifestyle. So if you're thinking about making the move, reach out anytime. Call, text, or email. All of our contact information is in the description below. And if this video helped you understand what living in Mesa is really like, make sure to subscribe, because we release new videos every single week covering what it's like living here in Arizona. And if you want to learn more about the best places to live around the Phoenix metro area, check out the next video right here, and we'll see you there.